Gonna be doing some pre-market analysis today on Nasdaq. So obviously, everybody and their mom sees this big ass candle here, and that has to do with news today. So we had unemployment, non-farm employment change, and average hourly earnings. So a lot of news this morning, obviously. So a lot of high impact news, and we directly see that impact the market today with this Drake size candle that we left. So ideally, this is what I was looking at here. We had Asia session lows here with, or like pre-market Asia session, whatever you want to consider a prominent low. Pretty strong draw of liquidity with hourly order block right there. Really nice hourly order block actually, which that's kind of like what I was looking for. Would look for that to get swept, and then also New York session from a couple days ago to get swept. Ideally, and then a return back in this order block, get an initial reaction, get a retracement back down, and then move up, continuing to move up. Didn't get any of that because price decided to rip through this. So very interested to see how price, uh, tries to like bounce back in a way from here. We do have these prominent lows that have not been tapped into yet. We do have this order block, however, down here. This pretty nice bullish order block that we just literally nicked with a wick right here. So interested to see how we react off of this on the hourly time frame. 4 hour, more or less the same story. Obviously, this is a very prominent draw of liquidity right here, especially on the 4 hour. So this is definitely what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Has not been swept yet. So if we don't see really a sweep of those lows necessarily, then I'm probably not going to be taking a trade because I don't think this is enough confluence. I mean, we ripped through it, basically formed a breaker block right there. And I would not be wanting to see price go any lower because I would have to see a sweep of some prominent highs, and that doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. So, um, I think price can definitely go either way. In the grand scheme of things, I would rather see it be bullish because we still have a little bit of imbalance to be filled here, and then we also just generated a shit ton of imbalance. I know this isn't like the candle's not closed yet, but just in general, we do have a ton of bearish imbalance that needs to be filled in here. So again, I would like to see it be bullish, honestly, because we swept out this low, we swept out these lows. I mean, we swept out every low, these low, this low got. I mean, we swept out everything. So I would have to say this is going to be a bullish day. Again, if we get more buy or more confirmation, that's going to be bearish. If we get a ton of bearish momentum, I'm not going to be taking a trade because there's no way I can get enough confluence for that. No liquidity sweep, nothing. Just price ripping to the downside. So interested to see how price goes. Again, this is pretty early. It's still 908, so nothing really uh, too confirming here. But that would literally be the only way I'm taking a trade is if it's bullish. Uh, so gonna be seeing how that goes. Again, I would love to see this get swept down here and then within this order block, but we're gonna see how that goes. So if I take a trade today, I'll take a recap. I'm probably gonna make like a market recap for this week. Just overall what price looked like this week. Again, we had some interesting days. We had this just chop sesh of a day over here. We had actually that we had, you could have just caught an absolutely disgusting trade over here with sweeping London session highs. We get a market structure shift to the downside. We get a retracement back up. We get a closure below for a value gap up here. Remember, and then just sold off the planet. So you could have caught something absolutely filthy right there. Today this was chop sesh day. Wednesday, Thursday we didn't have a session because Jimmy Carter died, and today is interesting because we have news. So it's been a very interesting week. I'm definitely gonna go make a video like covering this later today once we have market close for the day. But yeah, that's really what I'm looking at is these lows from a long time ago. Honestly, those are the only valid lows that I'm seeing, and then these highs, if anything. So interesting. Gonna see how this plays out, but just gonna stay patient. If there's no liquidity sweep again, I'm not gonna be trading.